Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys today. Sorry for the voice. Just got home from the flight back from Seattle. Got the studio and everything set up, working right. At least I hope I do. And man, I was just the whole plane ride. I was like, man, I want to get home and record. I want to get home and record. I want to get home and record. We had the post-victory kind of video that we did just from the stands, but it was celebration mode, and so like that was a short one. We didn't bring a lot of like analytics or takes away from that. That was just, I really wanted people to be a part of the celebration. I understand that not everybody gets to travel to these games in the middle of the week. It's expensive. I understand all those things. So, the whole goal was bring the people that can't come to the stadium with us. And I hope we achieve some of that. But man, here it is. Division champs, baby. And so I wanted to jump on here, go through some grades. I was able to, thankfully, Southwest, they were playing the game on NFL Network. So got to rewatch the game, the broadcast view, because we were at the game. And so it was nice. So I've already got to go through it twice. Film breakdowns and all that kind of stuff will be coming up for sure soon. And man, here's the cool thing. We went from getting 6 Patreon videos done in 2 days to now we've got a little bit of time. We get to kind of enjoy this win, which is important because I didn't feel like we got to enjoy the win because it was such a short week against, Tampa Bay and the Bucks. It just went so quick, man. It just went so quick. What's up, David? He says, thanks for getting us that win. I do my part. I will say this. I think for I probably shouldn't say that. I did consume lots of adult beverages with lots of amazing people. It was incredible, the turnout we had. We had over 250 people show up to our tailgate party, which was crazy. I mean, I don't know. That was my first game at Lumen Field in Seattle. I don't ever recall feeling or seeing that much red there. I don't know. Let me ask you guys, the ones that perhaps you didn't go, like, was it noticeable the amount of Niners fans that showed up to that game? Because we were surrounded by Niners fans. We were high-fiving everybody. And the one thing that I do have to give credit to, because you guys, I'm a talker, right? I yell, I get a little, whatever. Like, I'm a fan. I'm going to be a fan at the game. And a lot of times, you get chirping back and forth between the home fans and Niners fans, whatever. Man, Seattle fans, the people that were around us, the whole city, no issues. Like, I hate Seattle. I really don't like them at all. Their fans in their stadium, they were on point, man. They were no altercations. It was just a really good, healthy back and forth. Yeah, I was surprised by that. And so shout out to them. But yeah, I'm curious. Throw up in the chat. Like, let me know. Like, did it seem like there was a lot more presence of 49ers fans? Because it just keeps growing. Everywhere I go, I feel the same way after every game. It's like, man, there are Niners fans everywhere. And everybody makes the same comments. Man, you guys really showed up. So I don't know. Jack, what's up, my good friend, my Kansas City guy? He says, John, I wasn't a Purdy believer, but I've been won over. 3 in a row is a fact. We own the West with the 3rd string rookie quarterback. It's a Christmas miracle. Jack was one of the very first people to reach out to me. And right as soon as Jimmy went down, Jack was in a dark place. And that's okay. That's what we're here for sometimes, to talk back and forth. And every single game, he shows up afterwards and changes his opinions. Like, that's the thing, right? We all have our takes. We all have our feelings about certain players. I'm wrong all the damn time. But as you get more information, this is a credit to Jack and to good people everywhere, you're allowed to change opinions. You're allowed to change opinions. You're allowed to. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate the generosity in the super chat, but also appreciate your friendship and just get to know you over these last couple of years. We hung out in Chicago, man. We had a good time. We had a good time there. What's up, Matthew? Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the gift. He said, thanks for the awesome coverage of our team. Why does it seem like Shanahan trusts Purdy more than any other quarterback he's had with the Niners? He does. He really, really does. And it's weird because if you go back to the Tampa Bay game, first 4 plays were pass plays. First 4 plays were pass plays, and some of them were like a freaking all-out zero blitz. And he didn't care. He just kept throwing it. This week, it's been talked about a lot, I'm sure. He didn't attempt one pass in practice. Not one. Brock Purdy all week. It was a short week. Goes out there. I mean, fake, boom. Hits Kittle for the wide open touchdown. It wasn't. He was wide open, but then Kittle had to fight for the touchdown. Had forced 2 missed tackles. But it's weird, right? Like, so why is that? Let's focus on that, Matthew. Thank you for your question. Why? Okay. Why does Kyle Shanahan trust Brock Purdy so damn much? Well, this was a clip from last week that I had starred, and this is one of my main takeaways. Not necessarily for this game. This is one of my main takeaways. Not from this week, not from last week, but from the 3 weeks this Brock Purdy experiment's going on. Listen to Kyle Shanahan explain himself.
I mean, he's showing all of us this a bunch. I mean, it's not out in the games, but just how he's been since he's been here. He's been extremely consistent. He hasn't had too many ups and downs. He's always, in the preseason he had to fight just to get more reps every day, and we didn't go into it expecting. I mean, he would have been our number 2 going into this year if we didn't get Jimmy there at the end, and we didn't expect that going into it. And for him to be able to do that and win that job was impressive. And then just him going out now. I'm just happy that he was able to go out there and perform at the level a lot of us thought that he was capable of. And, I mean, I know the players felt that way, the coaches felt that way, and guys played really good around him too. And I was just happy for him because it's kind of what we see from him.
Consistency. And again, I go back very similar to Jack was saying a while ago, like my draft evaluation write-up, I think was probably similar to a lot of people's in the NFL community. That's not a flex. What I'm saying why I got it wrong is why I think a lot of other people got it wrong was he was so streaky. He was either red hot or he was ice cold. And whenever he got cold, it just like waterfalled off a cliff. Like, okay, you're costing the game right here. Haven't seen that. I mean, he's protecting the ball. There was one pass that should have been picked off by Quandre Diggs. They didn't take advantage of that. We scored right after that. We didn't score right after that. We punted it. Then they fumbled it. Then we scored right after that. So it was like a 4 or 5 play quick transition turnaround where if that interception would have taken place, it was a 7-3 game. They would have been, at midfield. But that's just the reality of the situation. You got to capitalize on those mistakes. You got to. Back to this idea of Kyle trusting Purdy more than others. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a consistent quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is great. And if he was the quarterback for the 49ers for the long term, I would be very, very happy. I don't think that's going to take place. I didn't think it was going to take place after he got before he got injured. The problem was the lack of mobility was an issue. And it just, again, what was it? He made it 3 starts in a row without throwing an interception. I think he got to 4 if you count the game that he got injured. That's the best of his career. Brock Purdy's at 3 games now without an interception, and he just started. So when Kyle doesn't have to worry about what's going to happen in the negative on a play, you get to relax your shoulders. There was one point in the game where they had a great punt, and we were backed up, I think, on like the 1.5 or the 2-yard line. And I turned to Wayne. I was sitting with Wayne and Vicky. If you come to any of our events, you'll know Vicky. She's like my work wife. She's incredible. We were hanging out, and I turned to him, and I go, man, I am so thankful Jimmy Garoppolo is not our quarterback right now for this play, for this series, just because the safeties were burned into my brain from earlier in the season. And sure enough, look what he called. He called like a play action rollout in the end zone. Kyle Shanahan did. and handled his business. Got a couple first downs, got some room, flip field position, and everything went well. Like, and so like, okay, let's flip it then and talk about Jimmy, because if you look at Jimmy, it's basically the same play call in Denver where he got the safety, just walked out of the back of the end zone and threw a pick six. Thankfully, the safety wiped it out somehow. Anyway, that's the lowest point of this year for me. I was so pissed off that game. But so I guess he did trust Jimmy. It's just Jimmy didn't earn or keep that maybe. Yeah, I don't know. And I'll also say this. Teams continue to do the same thing defensively to try to stop the 49ers. And that is 5 and 6 man fronts. And so whenever Kyle Shanahan could be calling a run play, that could be on there. But every single time they break the huddle, they have two plays. We could switch it to a pass. We could flip it to the other side, right? That's the can and whatever else. So Kyle could be calling straight runs, but because we're getting all these, 5, 6 man fronts, he's checking out of it. And there's a lot of audibles. That's one thing I'm going to add into my notes whenever I go through the Patreon film breakdown, just to go through and see like, okay, how many audibles is this kid calling? Because he seems comfortable as hell. But Shanahan said he's got full access. He's got everything that Trey had, everything that Jimmy had, and all that stuff. And I understand the conversation. Who's the starter next year? Who's the starter next year? Again, I'm staying with this take. I don't care. I don't care right now. Enjoy this. Be in this moment. Now, it's fine to debate those things. I'm not saying that's a bad act in and of itself. But, I mean, with every game that continues to go like this, that meter, man, it's tipping. It's tipping all the way over to Purdy time for a long time. And I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it. I think I said this on one of the shows. I don't know if I was a guest on somebody else's show. I'm 100% a Trey Lance fan. Like, I don't think there's anybody that likes Trey Lance more than me. But I hope Brock Purdy is the quarterback for the next decade. I really do. And I don't think it's a question of either or. We've seen so many quarterbacks. We're going to be lucky enough to have these guys, both Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, as our quarterbacks for a long time. And that makes me happy. We got two 22-year-old quarterbacks. Now, here's a question I want to get to, and I want you guys to answer this. Then I'm going to go back through some of your comments. Clayton's working right now, so it's just me, so I apologize about that. But, here's my question. If Brock Purdy, if we all knew what Brock is now before the draft, where does Brock Purdy get drafted? Not by the 49ers. I'm saying where should he have been slated now, right? So let's say everybody understands now and he's going to be in the draft. You put him back in the draft last year. Where should he have gone knowing what we know now? That's one that I want to entertain. So put it in there because I don't know. I want to see what y'all say first. Daryl, what's up, man? Appreciate the gift. He says, Grindmaster JC, let's go, baby. Yeah, man. It's a lot of work putting on the events, but they're so energizing. I met so many great people. I could literally list so many, just great connections that I made with amazing people. And whether we were at the stadium and people were like, oh, there's John and Wayne, and we would take pictures and get to know them a little bit, or they came out to our events. It was awesome. And it's exhausting. But you don't understand. Like, we got to get there like 3.5 hours early, get set up. We got to tear down, all that stuff. But the energy, the vibe of the community, it's so freaking awesome. And I'm going to say this again. We had 250 people at our Thursday party. We had about 150 with the Seattle Faithful chapter the day before the party. We do these parties at bars and events and whatever, and alcohol's involved and whatever else. We've never had an issue. We're on like event number 18. No issues, which is crazy to me because usually in those types of settings, that's not the way it goes. But the community of people that continue to come out and support, I don't know, man. Like-minded people that want to get together and have fun, there's not going to be any issues, and there hasn't been. And I'm very, very thankful for that. I hope that streak continues. Oh, what's up? Speaking of great people, Nick, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the gift. He says, John, what's up? Glad to have you and the team representing in every road game. Amazing. We won the division in Seattle. I'm still on cloud 9. I love it. Stay faithful. I love it. Nick is such a good dude. Appreciate your generosity. He's even holding the UK faithful flag that our good buddy Lee gave us. That is awesome, man. That's so cool. Thank you, Nick. Really, really appreciate it. And so, yeah, let's get to some of these comments about, everything about what it looked like on the broadcast. JD says you could tell on the broadcast by the noise level how many 49ers fans there were. It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, they were the 49ers on the sideline, like every third down, they turn around and like start doing this. And man, we were doing defense chants. We were doing all that stuff. We were getting loud. Really felt like, stuff was, it was strong there. It was strong there. Melissa says the entire bottom ring was mostly red. That's where we were. Got really good seats. Very, very thankful. Ben says, surprised how much red I saw on TV. Yes, I freaking love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And Melissa, yeah, she says, I think the comment I said earlier about how Seattle fans were actually really, really awesome, at least my experience. She says she's going to forever hate the 12s for what they did to Bowman. I was pretty hot then too. Bowman was my favorite player in the NFL that year. For a long time he was. And when the injury happened, okay, injuries happen, whatever. It was dirty. We got screwed over on the fumble, whatever else. But then throwing stuff on an injured player. And I always try my hardest to tell myself, I don't do very well at this live reaction, to tell myself it's a couple drunk morons. That's not everybody. But I usually I get pretty hot and I lump everybody together, which is not healthy, but it's just, I do that. I do that sometimes. But yeah, and dude, when Kittle was running to score, Big Papa says the volume went up. It got loud in there, man. And, obviously they had way more fans. It's their home stadium, but it was loud, man. It was loud. I freaking loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Now, back to this question of where would Brock Purdy go if he went back into this draft? He went 262. And look at these questions right here. We got 4th overall. Melissa says 2nd overall, 3rd overall. I freaking love it. Pittsburgh should have took him in the 1st round. Yeah, I think he's better than Pickett too. And very similar skill set. Pickett's bigger, but not by much. Not by much. Nick says 3rd round, 4th. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. What's up, David? How you doing? We got 3rd overall. I like this. 2nd round. We got him 262. And, one of the main critiques, and maybe it's not a critique anymore, was, oh man, you got all these draft picks you missed on, and everybody wants to talk about 3rd round running backs and whatever else. But I'm telling you this, like, it doesn't matter what you spend your picks on as long as you get the production that you want. So here's what I'm saying about that. Like, you can focus on Trey Sermon or you can focus on Elijah Mitchell because you got the running back that you wanted. Elijah Mitchell's better than a 3rd round running back. Yeah, the injuries suck, but that's okay. Now, again, look at this. From Fatal, excuse me, you could focus on TDP or you can focus on your boy Mason, right? That's the idea behind this. Like, you are getting the running back production that you wanted with that 3rd round pick last year and this year. It's just not the guy that we thought it was. I got to get a drink of water real quick. I'll be right back. Best way to support the show, as always, Patreon, baby. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast. And as soon as you sign up, you get almost everything, depending on the tier you pick. And if you're just interested in 49ers play, guess what? We have every single offensive, defensive, and special teams play from the last 2.5 years. Every single game for the 49ers. Nobody else has this content. Now, not to mention we have extra episodes weekly. We've got scouting report breakdowns. We've got betting. We've got your one-stop shop for 49ers content. And if you want to be heard, guess what? We got Zoom Hangouts twice a month where we listen to you. Patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast, or just Google Patreon and 49ers. We're the first one that shows up. All right. Love it. But yeah, so back to this idea. What are you? Are you a glass half full or half empty guy or girl or whatever? Because you're going to find what you want if in NFL teams. Now, whenever you get into the context of other teams, look at other teams. Nobody has a deep roster like us. Maybe the Eagles. I'm trying to think of other teams. Maybe the Eagles. We're on our third damn quarterback. We're on our third quarterback. And we're still blowing people out on the road. Places we have not historically won at, right? So you can talk about like Trey Lance, however your feelings are for him, whatever. I would do that again if I could guarantee to get this production from our quarterback position with Brock Purdy. I don't know if I'm making sense there, right? Like, I'm trying to say this front office and coaching staff has done an incredible job. I'm talking coach of the year type job with how they have gotten Brian Greasy's incredible, by the way. How they've gotten Purdy ready, how Jimmy turned around and was having his best year. Trey, we got to see what, 5 quarters? Yeah. First 4 weren't great, but whatever. We'll just have to hold off on that. But yeah, it's a good problem to have. Nick, right here. Good problem to have. Both of them on rookie contracts for the next 2 years for sure. I think we got 3 because you got Trey Lance. This is his second year, so he's got 2 more. And then the 5th year option if you wanted to do that. Then this is, Brock's first year. He's got 3 more. So yeah, you're right. 2 more years for sure. After that, we'll have to wait and see. Great problems to have. Great problems to have. Ooh, I like this question. Willie. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in the chat before, so I'm very glad that you are here. He says, hey, John, if Purdy wins out, is there a possibility for him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year? There is, because the front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year kind of fell off, right? You had the running back, Breece Hall, for the Jets, seemed like a sure shot. He got injured. Kenneth Walker stepped up big, got injured, came back, didn't do anything in this game. It's going to be hard because they usually vote for these awards a little too early. So I doubt it. But, man, he should be in the conversation at least. And that's a weird one. That is a weird one. But he should be. He sure as hell should be. Name another offensive rookie. I think you got Chris Olave. He's been doing really, really well. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Bomber T, look at this. Purdy might be the best quarterback for Shanahan's system. I love it. The positive comment, my friend. Appreciate that, Bomber. A lot of times he comes in and is yelling at us, but I love it. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Not that you could be right. So far, you are right. Small sample size, but it's the results are absolutely incredible. I'll look at B&D Gaming Channel. He says, the roar when Mason iced the game with the long run almost brought me to tears. By that point, everybody was still there. People weren't leaving. After that run, people were leaving. And it was the end of the game. But holy freaking cow. I really thought Mason was going to get more touches. But the dude just keeps making them count. There's no doubt about it. Man, let's go through these grades because I think this tells the story too. This is Pro Football Focus. George Kittle was first with a 91.9. Holy freaking cow. George Kittle, I love that he is getting so much attention and focus. Debo leaves, and you knew somebody was going to take those electric plays, right? Was it going to be Ayuk? Was it going to be Jennings? Like, who was going to get it? It was Kittle. 5 targets, 4 catches, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had that 54-yard touchdown, which was just incredible. He was so freaking great, man. Not only was he incredible with, the passing, right? He had the highest passing grade at 90.2. He also had the highest run block grade, 87.3. Trent Williams is second with an 84.7 run blocking grade. And that's the thing that I keep going back to. Kittle is there, and yeah, we all want the targets. I wish he got more targets. I really, really do. But he's so amazing in the run game. Like, he doesn't take plays off. He's just, and I know we all know this. We talk about it all the time. But whenever you get these games where he just goes out and dominates in the passing level of the game and the run, like, he is just an A++ player no matter what the hell you're doing. He's so consistent, man. In the back of my mind, I go back and I hear these voices. Man, we should trade Kittle. man, I'm tired of Kyle Shanahan. Man, why does blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, why don't y'all just wait a little bit and like chill out a little bit? And here we are. Now we fast forward. Nobody's saying to trade Kittle. Nobody's saying Kyle Shanahan sucks. Nobody's mad at John Lynch for a third-round running back. I'm sure some people are, but I don't know how you can whenever you got the results. You just won 7 games. You're the first team in the NFL to lock up your freaking division. Like, how did we forget last year? We're 3-5 last year. Everybody's pissed. We're 3-4 this year. Everybody pissed. Look at us now. Look at us now. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like, part of me is like, can we please remember this moment? We start slow. Next year, guess what? Probably going to be some issues. It's the NFL. But just wait. Just wait. Just wait. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Now, George Kittle's number 1. Guess who's number 2? Come on, baby. J.P. Mason. He has been in the top 3 every single game that he has got offensive snaps. Now, he only played 7 snaps, but he got a 91.4 grade. The dude just, I wish, I need more cowbell. I wish I had more cowbell. I got a fever. And the only cure, it's more cowbell. It's Jordan Mason. At some point, somebody is going to get through Shanahan's, head and be like, dude, just play this kid a little bit more. And, again, Christian McCaffrey's been unreal, right? 26 carries, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. 6 catches on 8 targets for 30 yards. Incredible. It's a lot of targets. It's a lot of touches. And, he's got the time, and this was such a big game. But, man, what did Christian McCaffrey call him? Mariano Rivera, the closer? And it's coming, man. It's just, we all know that it's there. We all know that it is there. And, Mark, he says that whole open up for Mason's game stealing run was amazing. Team willed that win. And all he needed was 1 first down. But instead, what's he do? He goes for 55. It almost got the touchdown. And, again, you look at his stat line. He had 4 carries, 3 missed tackles forced. 3. Christian McCaffrey had 5 missed tackles forced. It's crazy what he's doing. But yeah, we're doing that. We're doing the cowbell, baby. That's a thing. We got to keep doing that. What's up, Perk? Glad to see him in the chat, man. Sorry, I've been bad on the chat lately. I apologize about that, guys. So what's up? We got Josh in here. What's up, my friend? He says, do we sign Gibson for another year? Hell yes. Hell yes. You sign Gibson for another year. Yes. Yeah, you do. Big time. Gibson's not going anywhere. He's not. Jimmy Ward is, not Gibson. Mosquito Killer said, man, Mason wanted that touchdown so bad, even though that's a no-no. I know. I was screaming. Once he broke, I was like, oh, get down, get down, get down. But then I was like, oh, I got you in fantasy. Go, 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 go. But, I mean, it was actually the best thing that you're supposed to do. Theoretically, as a coach, and you would spend time with your team and go over stuff like this in those situations, get the first down, get down. Because at that point, if you fumble it, even if you score, that gives them time for 2 possessions, like whatever else, you're supposed to get down. So going out at the 1, even though he went out of bounds, that was probably a no-no, but it didn't matter because you just had to nail it. But yeah, incredible, man. And that dude just comes in and it's just been such a key piece late. Eventually, he's going to get it. He's going to get those touches. And I'm just being picky here. I'm just being picky. I think that's all. It's just whenever I see him, Jordan Mason is Brock Purdy to me. And what I mean by that is he's just so damn fun. When 24 goes out onto the field, I get giddy like a schoolgirl because I'm just like, somebody about to get punished. You know what I mean? Like I get jazzed up. Like he just brings, I don't know. Do you guys, am I the only one that feels that way? When I see 24 back there, I'm just like, woo, like here it comes. Here comes the pain. It's so like there's just certain players that just you kind of your eyes gravitate towards, and for him, yeah, he's awesome, man. He's awesome. So let's go back to these offensive grades. I've seen some really good comments that I want to get to. And again, if you want to comment or question, it does help me if you tag me in the chat, just because the comments are great. Keep them all coming. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, please put my name on there so that I can see it. Staying with the top 5, Tyler Kroft, only 14 snaps, but had an 80.9 grade. He was 3rd. Trent Williams 4th. Ray McLeod 5th. He got 27 snaps. Thought he played really well. Lowest graded players, Burford, Ayuk, and Aaron Banks. But offensively, 10 players, 70 or higher grade. Like, for only having 21 points, the offense had a very, very efficient kind of, everybody just posted positive numbers, which I just love. Absolutely love. So yeah, I like that a lot. Now, defensively, let's jump over there just real quick. Nick Bosa, man. It's Nick Bosa. I don't know. I don't know what to do about him winning Defensive Player of the Year. It just seems so freaking obvious. And I know I cover the Niners, so like I watch them all the time. He's the best player on the field, no matter who they go against. Like if you were saying, if John Chapman was doing his top 100 players, right? Nick Bosa's it'd probably go Patrick Mahomes, Nick Bosa. Like that's it. And I get the quarterback importance level and all those things. But there's not another player that is as dominant at their position. And that's the thing. This is a prime position. You got quarterback and defensive end. He's that damn good. He's that consistently good. He had a 90.8 grade, played 51 out of 64 snaps, which is high for him. 6 pressures, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, 3 hurries, 1 solo stop, and he had a batted pass. They didn't give him credit for a pass breakup. Oh, batted pass. There it is. Yeah, he got it there on the official stat sheet. Good. Unbelievable. Scott coming in here hot. I love it. Still pissed about that roughing the passer call. I was upset about too. I felt like the other calls were much worse. Once we go through it on our Patreon film, I'll spend a little bit more time on it. Now, the rule says this, and this has been out there on Twitter too. Like when they showed the replay in the stadium, I was like, you know what? That's the rule. I don't like the rule. And Nick Bosa in the press conference said, yeah, actually it was. I was supposed to get to the side. You can't tackle them with your body weight on top of them. I know it's getting ridiculous and all those different things, but you can do whatever the hell you want to any other player, but not a quarterback. You got to protect those babies because NFL cares about money more than anything. That's just the reality that it is, sadly. But yeah, the other penalties made me mad. I even tweeted out some 4-letter words. I apologize to all the kiddos following. It's just what it is. Now, staying with the top graded players, Kerry Hyder, revenge game, baby, 79.6. He played 23 snaps, played really well. Demo, baby. Look at Josh coming over here. Can't say enough about how Demo has played opposite of Ward. He had a 78.5 grade. Incredible. Demo continues to be so freaking awesome. And again, everybody, like, with the rookies that we have now that don't play, right? Samuel Womack or, fill in the blanks, whatever. Look at the path that Demo went on to get to where he is. Came out, started a couple games earlier, right? Then he got benched last year, and we didn't see him ever again. Didn't see him again. Then he took the job from Samuel Womack. Then Emmanuel Mosley goes down. He bounces outside. He's been playing incredible. We don't know what's going to happen. Samuel Womack is on the exact same career path as Diamador Lenore. He could be the next guy. And I think kind of 49ers are planning on it, where Womack's probably going to be starting for Jimmy Ward next year in the slot. So he's been playing so well. A 3rd highest rated player, tied with Fred Warner. They both have a 78.5 grade. Charvarius Ward, shout out to him, man. Whew. That was awesome. And yeah, right here, Ed, he says Charvarius Ward manhandling Metcalf was legendary. That was fun watching. Again, I was live at the thing, and so you could see what was happening. But when they did the mashup on the broadcast of, Charvarius Ward and DK Metcalf just going at it, oh, man, that was awesome. That was so cool. Talanoa Hufanga, he had a good game, 75.8. Did have a dropped interception. Tayshaun Gibson, 7th. Greenlaw, 8th, 73.5. Armstead, 9th. I love Eric Armstead so freaking much. You look at those crucial plays, and you could see it. One, you just see how big he is. Like, you forget. The camera that they show for the broadcast is like up and down, right? Like, you're looking down at the players because the cameras are high up there. But whenever you are down, like close to the field, and 91 walks out, you're just like, whoa, that dude is different. Like, he's standing there talking to Bosa, and it's like, that guy different. And it shows on the field. It shows on tape. Just amazing human. Walter Payton, man of the, like, that. Why do I like Kittle so much, right? Because what he does in the pass game and the run game and his attitude and all that stuff, Kittle's probably the most represented jersey out there at most games. Kittle is. He's like going to be the face of the freaking NFL one day. Like, no doubt about it, or whatever, WWE, whatever he wants to do. But you've got somebody that is just positive. And, one of the, like, I have conversations with myself because I'm just like a weirdo and like how to phrase things and, I have conversations and topics for this podcast. And I don't know if this is going to come off the wrong way, and I apologize if it does. What's up, Thomas? He says, Rush road trip is the best trip. I love it, Thomas. Thank you, brother. My man. Looking sharp in those glasses, by the way. Thank you. If you want to, like, litmus test of people that, like, watch and understand football, or at least 49ers, those are the two players that I always ask about. Like, that's who I would tell. I would say, oh, what are your thoughts on Eric Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, George Kittle? Because if you watch the tape, then you understand their impact, right? If you watch the broadcast view and then you check the stat line, it's not telling you the story. Dre Greenlaw will, but like you will find out really, really quick if people know what the hell they're talking about. Because if you're one of those people that like bashes Armstead on or off the field, like I don't know where you get that from, somebody that have such a positive impact play by play. I don't know if you talk to the team, Armstead is literally the Walter Payton Man of the Year, not once, not twice, 3 years in a row, galvanizing the locker room, right? And I think people got upset at Armstead because of the DeForest Buckner trade, which is ridiculous because they're best freaking friends. That was not Armstead's choice. It was John Lynch's choice. It was Kyle Shanahan's choice. And I hate to say this. I'm going to be honest with you. It was the right choice. We can look back on it now. It was the correct choice. Now, am I saying Kinlaw was better than Defoe? Hell no, I'm not saying that. I am saying what we've gotten, because again, the trade was a 3-for-1. DeForest Buckner said, I want $20 million at least per year. 49ers said, we can't do that. Find a trade to a team you want. We want a first-round pick back. You find what you want. Go get your contract. Find your team. DeForest Buckner went and found his team, the Colts, got $22 million a year. Love it. I love seeing people get paid. He orchestrated the whole damn thing. He goes with that $22 million. They were able to pay Jimmy Ward, long-term deal. They were able to pay Eric Armstead, long-term deal, and draft Javon Kinlaw. Buckner's the best player of those three. There's no doubt about it. But look what Jimmy Ward has brought us these past 3 years. Look what Eric Armstead has brought us this last 3 years. Go look at Buckner's stats. He's great. He's the best of those three. But 49ers did right. They did right there. It was the right thing for everyone. Yeah, Mosquito. Buckner's choice too. Like, he wanted to be here. He could have been here. Armstead's deal was friendly. Jimmy Ward's was all right. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I freaking love it. So back to this whole thing. Oh, we got it. Tommy, what's up here? Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, Armstead said, next question. Oh, you talking about the press conference? Yeah, he didn't want to. I don't want to give that guy any airtime either. Thank you for the gift, my friend. Yeah, and I mean, imagine being a Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Shot J, thank you, man. He says, like, subscribe, Patreon, support the show, support John. Thank you, my friend. Stay strong and united. I love this. You guys are awesome, man. Come to a road trip party. Share a drink with us. That's what I'm talking about. And if you haven't come to a party, we still got the Vegas one. Probably not a good idea when my wife picked me up at the airport asking if I could throw some more parties for the playoffs. Probably should have waited a little bit, but she's so freaking awesome. She's incredible. So I'm trying to set something up for the playoffs, at least that first wild card round game, because we'll be hosting that in Santa Clara. Maybe I'll throw a tailgate together like we did last time, which was so fun. Got to hang out with Shot Jay. So anyway, stay tuned for that. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. You can head over there and get your tickets for the Vegas trip. We've got that set up over there, so that's there. Now, let's look at the lowest graded defenders. Ty McGill got 16 snaps, 36.0 grade. Akeem Spence got 20 snaps, 39.5 grade. That defensive tackle spot is rough. But back to what we were just talking about. They are going to activate. Well, hold on. Let me use the correct terminology. The 49ers are anticipated to initiate the 21-day practice window for Javon Kinlaw to come off of IR. Now, let's be smart about this and try to get this understood and broken down correctly. Josh says, any Patreon dropping today? No, I just got home from the flight. So I'm going to go spend time with the family. We're going to go out tonight and just try to enjoy each other a little bit just because I've been gone. So we're going to go out for dinner and hang out. So no, this was, I asked my wife if I could jump on right now. She said yes. But later on I won't be able to. But trust me, we've got 10 days. I'm going to be able to do a much more thorough, spend a little bit more time than normal on these breakdowns. So excited about that because we're going to have time. So sadly, no Patreon dropping today. I apologize. But we got you guys. Trust me. We got you. So Javon Kinlaw, he's coming back, but understand this. I do not anticipate him getting activated. Not this week, not next week. At the end of it's a 21-day window. If you look at the Niners schedule, right? Man, we don't play till next Saturday. We play Christmas Eve. Then we play January 1st and January 8th. That's 21 days. I expect him to get activated right before the Arizona Cardinals game. And my assumption would be he'll go through team warmups. Probably won't play. You're saving this cat for the playoffs. So the defensive tackle spot is an issue. And when they put Hassan Ridgeway on IR, that means he's done, DUN. They're not bringing him back. But Givens is not on there. So he will return, which is very, very good. So I'm excited about Kinlaw, and I really hope that this is something that he can get through. And, it's just one of those things. What was the quote that he used? This is just something I'm going to have to deal with, right? I'm just going to have to struggle with the rest of my career, seems like. He could play solid for one game, but can he bounce back? Did they rest him long enough to where he could play 3 or 4 straight weeks? Because that's what we need. I ain't worried about the wild card round. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about more. I want bigger things. I want to be like Brock Purdy going through his progressions. I don't want to take the first down. I want to be greedy. I want the deep shot. That's what I want. I'm nobody you need to know. Thank you for the gift, my friend. He says, just throw this out there. But the last time the Niners swept the division was 1997, before the Rams, Seahawks, Cards came into the division. Ooh, I do not know the answer to that question, but that was back with the Falcons and all that kind of stuff. That sounds right. 49ers are currently 5-0 in the division. You've already beat the Rams twice. You already beat the Seahawks twice. You beat the Cardinals once in Mexico City. That was so fun. Now you get to play them last week of the season. They've got a lot of stuff going on over there, man. Kyler Murray's out, which sucks. We already played against Colt McCoy. Is that game even going to matter? Is it even going to matter. Because if we look at the standings, right? 49ers have locked up the 3 seed. Now, you are behind the Minnesota Vikings. They're 10-3. We're 10-4. So, like, I mean, we're right on those hills. You got to get that 2 seed if you can, though. Now, if you look at the difference with tiebreakers, because we don't play them, right? If we had the exact same record, we would get in because our conference schedule is better. We're 8-2, they're 6-3 currently. And again, they have to slip up. Not only do they have to slip up, we got to keep winning. We have the NFL's best winning streak at 7. Can it keep going, man? Can we get it to 10? That's a lot of games. You know, because again, if the reason why you want the 3 seed is because it guarantees you 2 home playoff games if you win, right? Because let's just say hypothetically, you know, if the standings stay the way they are, here's the seeding rules in the NFL. Okay, right now is 1 Philly, 2 Minnesota, 3 49ers, 4 Bucks, 5 Cowboys, 6 Commanders, 7 Giants. Seattle Seahawks are out of it right now. So if it stayed where it is, remember now, only the first team gets the bye. So you get a 2-7 matchup, 3-6, and a 4-5 matchup, right? So you got the 3 games. Then it reseeds. It always reseeds in the NFL. So the lowest seed, the Eagles, number 1, will play the worst seeded team that is there, on and on and on. So if all the favorites won out, the second round, the divisional round, would be Philly versus Bucks, and then the 49ers would have to travel to the Vikings. Now, if we flip those two, if we get the 2 seed, then the Vikings would come to us, right? In the Kirk Cousins Bowl. That's what you want, right? I mean, again, you go back to, you know, just the standings and kind of how it looks. The 49ers have been great at home. They've been great everywhere. We're 6-1 at home. We're 4-3 away or on the road. 4-3 on the road. 6-1 at home. You want that? Let's look at the Vikings. They're 4-2 away, 6-1 at home. We got the same home record, which is interesting. Now back to the 7-game win streak. The longest streaks besides ours in the NFL, the Bengals have won 5. The Bills have won 4 in a row. The Eagles have won 4 in a row. The Cowboys have won 4 in a row. And that's pretty much it. Nothing else over 2 games throughout the entire NFL. We're at 7. Whew. We're at 7. I freaking love it, man. And like, I don't know. I think we're in a good spot. Mike's the man, dude. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you, man. I always got my coffee mug over here, man. Reminds me of you. Appreciate you throwing that together. I don't know if I ever showed this one to you guys. Big Mike made this bad boy for me. Check this out. Got Fred Warner on there. Look at that. I'm not drinking coffee right now, but it was just sitting over here. Anyway, he says Chapman will be working on it till like 3 a.m. Man, I'm tired, bro. I am tired. So yeah, I hang out with the fam. It's going to be an early night. And then in the morning, I will be up. I promise. We'll be getting you guys your film. We always do. We got you. We got you guys. Now let's see. I think that was about all that I had as far as grades go. I'll be back with you guys to go through, you know, the film stuff, some of those takeaways and all that. And again, we've got time. And this weekend, man, we just get to watch football and relax, knowing we clinched the freaking division. Clinched, baby. Clinched. We got this. I freaking love it. I love you guys. Really appreciate all the support, all the kind words. You guys are awesome. Love this community. And man, we got a lot of time to get through this. And we're going to, trust me, we're going to dig in. Excited about it. Thank you guys for all the continued support. And man, it's going to be easy. Till next time, stay strong, faithful.